Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. I'm privileged to be joined by my dad today.
Hi. Mark searched the world over to find somebody that was an absolute gamer neophyte, and that was me. I've never played a video game in my life and don't know anything about it, so This is be a real education for me.
Yeah, so he's going to be reacting to No Man's Sky and definitely be an outsider's perspective on the game. So we're going to skip to No Man's Sky. Okay, so now we're here in No Man's Sky. This is my spaceship, Dad.
Well, now, did this come with the game, or you made that? Or
yeah, unfortunately you can't make ships in this game. You find them. We'll probably see some ships flying in. Yeah, right there at the end, we're in a space station.
Okay.
You can see ships flying in.
Yeah.
And I could, when a ship flies in here, I'll show you real quick, I could, buy any ship that comes in if I have the money.
I see.
And then I keep it, and that's the new ship that I have.
Same as on Earth here, you can buy a car if you got the money.
Yep.
Alright.
So yeah, I can talk to the alien that's flying this ship, and I can buy or sell items from him, or I can make an offer on his ship, and I can negotiate the price. And so I could buy it for 12 million units, or I could exchange the ship that I have and it would be 0. So I could actually get the ship for free, but I'd give up my ship, which is actually better.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good trade.
So yeah, and you can own up to 6 ships. I'll probably show you my ships in a little bit. But yeah, this is.
You have more than one?
Yeah, I have 6 ships. I have a giant ship called a freighter. And my little ships are all stored on there. So here's like places that you can buy technology from the aliens here. So this is like a marketplace. So that you buy like suit upgrades here, vehicle upgrades. There's ground vehicles on planets.
Yeah, just like shopping at the mall.
Yep, and then ship upgrades and weapon upgrades. So I've got, I could buy a weapon here, or I could buy technology for the weapon.
Weapons are nice.
Yeah. And then here's like a trade terminal where I can also buy and sell items as well. And yeah, almost every star system has a space station in it. There are some, recently they updated the game, made it so that there are undiscovered star systems that don't have a space station, and abandoned ones that have like ruined space stations.
Okay.
And so this star system has these warrior race guys called Viking, and I can talk to any of these and have like a conversation with them.
It can translate the language for you?
Yep.
Neat.
And then this guy is a traveler. He's like supposedly the same race as myself, and he's got like a robotic head. And it's fairly rare to find travelers, but they're more common now than they used to be. There's a pretty cool looking ship.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff over here. There's mission boards.
This really gives you the feeling of depth and 3-dimension. That's what I'm struck by. It's not flat.
Yeah.
You can really experience the depth.
Yep. And so then there's missions here. Sentinels are the robots. They're like robots that patrol the galaxy, and so there's like a mission to kill Sentinels, locate a missing person, collect items, kill creatures, things like that.
Yeah.
So you can just take missions at the space station. This guy is I don't think he's really important, except for there's like this big storyline that you can do that he's involved in.
Okay.
And then this is a portal that I can actually use to go back to other places I've been before.
I was going to guess that as a portal just from movies that I've seen.
Yeah. So I can go to any space station that I've previously been to. These are all other space stations.
Wow, you've done some traveling.
So I can go back to any of those. And then bases. You can build bases on planets.
Okay.
And so I've got several bases here that I could go back to. But I think we're just gonna fly around this star system.
Sure.
Maybe we'll fly down to a planet, and I'll show you my freighter.
Okay.
Let's see if there's. I don't know if I've really explored this star system very much, so let's see if there's any interesting planets here.
Wow.
So you see, I'm out in space now.
Yeah.
I'll fly out and show you where we just were. So there, that's the space station I was just on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're floating out in space now, and let's see. This is a cold planet. It says Sub-Zero planet. I just scanned it, so I knew what it was like.
I see.
I'm going to scan this one. And that's a hot planet.
Okay.
There's basically... One of the complaints about this game is there's not a whole lot of variety. Like, it's an infinite universe, but there's basically 8 types of planets. There's hot, cold, dry, wet, or lush, radioactive, toxic...
Yeah.
Empty, and then exotic. Exotic are a new type of planet that have been added, and they like have really weird stuff. Oh, here's an exotic planet. So I think I'll show you this exotic planet.
I can see you're actually flying because things are going past.
Yep. Yeah,
Almost like driving in a snowstorm, but it's particles in space.
Yeah, and then that's the moon of that planet.
Okay.
That's a toxic planet. So I think we'll look at a couple planets. So this is an exotic planet.
Okay.
Exotic planets were previously empty planets, but they're like empty planets where weird stuff has started to appear.
I wouldn't mind seeing a lush planet today.
I don't think I saw one in this star system.
All right,
but
that's all right.
we could go to one of my bases because I've got bases on lush planets. So we could do that. And actually, I've got a base on an exotic planet that is kind of a lush planet. It's like it's a combination of the two.
All right.
But we'll go to this metallic planet.
In defense of the game, I don't know how many other alternative planets there could be. I mean, offhand, you've got hot, cold, wet, dry, and lush and the others, but I can't think of anything else either.
Yeah, in real life, most planets are just rock, are empty.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Earth, and so the biomes in the game are kind of based on places that we have here on Earth.
Yeah.
So we've got hot regions, cold regions. Thankfully, we don't have regions that are really toxic or radioactive.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is a metallic planet. It's got these weird gears on it. So it's kind of like this is like debris from like a war or something that all landed on this planet.
Huh.
But it's got these weird rotating gears floating in the air. And like I said, these exotic planets, and they've got really weird creatures. So these are actually like inorganic creatures made out of like energy balls.
Okay.
And most planets have more like things on Earth. Like they'll be alien type creatures, but they'll look kind of like cats and dogs and stuff. But
are those energy balls something you need to avoid or destroy?
No.
Or they're kind of neutral.
There are some creatures that are predators that will attack you, but I've never known the inorganic ones to be dangerous or attack you. Okay. I think if I attacked them, they might attack me back, or they might just run away. Yeah. Like I'm shooting at it right now, and one of them's trying to attack me. This one's coming after me because I attacked one of its kind.
I didn't mean to start anything. I just wondered.
It's hitting me. So they do fight back if you attack their kind.
Well, I would do the same.
But I'm going ahead and leave here, and we'll see if we can find
now that you started a fight, you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. I got you to start the fight.
Yeah. No. And in space, I can be attacked by space pirates. So I might be attacked at some point.
Oh my, I didn't think about that.
And it's just kind of... Let's go ahead and go... I'm gonna go back to the space station and go through the portal and show you one of my bases.
Oh, alright. Yeah.
So you saw how like we could see a planet from space and we could fly all the way down to it.
Yes.
And No Man's Sky is really one of the first games to ever actually have that. Like other games will use kind of like tricks, like there'll be a loading screen, like you're in space and you say, okay, I want to go to that planet, but then there'll just be a loading screen and you'll appear on the surface of that planet.
Yeah.
And that's not a real planet, it's just like a little area that's made to look like it's that planet. But in this game, there's actually planet-sized planets, and you can explore that entire planet, and all of it's, you know, actually there. And the way it does that, because, I mean, if all of that planet was rendered in, it wouldn't work. The game would crash. But the way it works is you've kind of like got this giant bubble around yourself that things start to become, starts to become real as you get closer to it. So right now we're just looking at a 2D representation of that planet, and there's not really any creatures down there until I go down there, and then they appear and they become rendered in.
Now, when you go to this space station and go through the portal, you have to leave your spaceship behind?
No, my spaceship comes with me.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that worked. Yeah, I didn't know if you had a different one parked over at the other end or not.
Yeah, and you can see that it's taking us a while to get places, so it's like there's real distance.
In real time.
And I'm traveling like just under the speed of light. This is like sublight speed, but I can also warp to go faster than the speed of light to other stars.
Okay.
And those are other freighters, giant spaceships that are warping in. I'll probably show you mine at the end.
Well, smooth landing.
Yep. Yeah, there's other space games, like there's this one space game called Elite Dangerous, and it's made to be more of a realistic space simulator where it's really hard to land a ship like it probably would be in real life, but in No Man's Sky everything's kind of easier and it just lands the ship for you automatically when you start to go into the space station.
That works.
Alright, so I'm going to use the portal, and a really nice planet I have... Oops. Oop, I'm going to the wrong thing. Okay, my bases, yeah. I'm going to go to this one. I named this one 1950s sci-fi movie because this planet used to have atmosphere filter that made everything black and white. But they did an update to the game and it changed it, so now it's a lot prettier than that.
Saw you also had a yellow submarine one as well.
Yeah,
like the Beatles.
Yeah, I named a planet that because it has these giant. It's an exotic planet that has these giant, like kelp.
Oh yeah.
On land, so it looks like you're underwater, but you've got this giant seaweed.
I see.
On dry land.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, there is a loading screen here. When you go between star systems, you do go through loading screens. So each star system is kind of like a separate area.
Yeah. Well, you're teleporting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going hundreds of light years probably.
Yeah. I hear it slowing down. There we go.
Yep. So now you can see
dinosaur type stegosaurus.
Yeah, now you can see the regular kind of creatures. These are like they do look kind of like dinosaurs, I guess.
Yeah, almost armadillos, stegosaurus.
Yep.
The same.
Yeah, you can see it's a lot prettier colors.
Yeah.
And it looks like palm trees and stuff.
And there's actual life.
Yeah, and this is something new they recently added. It's a plant that explodes when you get close to it, and it hurts you with toxins.
Oh. Yeah, you wouldn't know.
And see, that's a sentinel. That's the floaty robots. And if I started killing creatures or destroying trees, it would get mad and start attacking me.
Okay.
So they're basically like the guardians that keep you from destroying too much stuff.
Sure. Well, that's good.
And they're just kind of annoying because sometimes you want to mine for stuff, and then they attack you, and you have to deal with them.
Oh, they don't let you mine, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, it's cool that he has a shadow. Now,
Yeah.
that's neat.
Yep.
That makes it realistic. I just noticed that.
And something they improved recently was underwater. Underwater used to be a lot less interesting, but they added like this coral stuff is a new thing that they added.
Well, that is neat. You
And
can
they
just walk right in and go swimming.
Yep. And they added more, well, a higher frequency of underwater creatures. We can go over and look at these.
Oh, and the jetpack works underwater too.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yeah, they fixed that. It used to be that your jetpack just made you go straight up, but now it lets you go horizontally.
Yes.
So yeah, we got like some kind of angler, eel type things, and also jellyfish looking things. So yeah, this game is pretty neat. There is quite a
interesting.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of variety.
Yeah, there's
not
a lot
as
to explore and see.
Yeah, when you play it long enough, it starts to get kind of samey. Like, I can find several planets that have some of the same things on it.
This is all new to me. I've never seen anything like this. And also underwater, I have the feeling of depth.
Yep.
You know, it's not a two-dimensional experience at all. You're really traveling, and it looks three-dimensional to me.
Yeah. And as you saw, I was inside of a house when I first arrived here. That was a base that I built.
Okay.
So you can build a base on a planet, and then you can travel back to it whenever you want.
All right.
And a lot of this wasn't in the game. When the game first came out, you couldn't build a base, and you couldn't even go back to places that you used to be at. Like, once you left a star system, since the universe is so big, it was really hard to ever even find a place that you used to be at. So a big improvement was when they added bases and added the ability to go back to places.
And how did you find your way back? I would think you could get lost on
do you see that icon? It looks like a spaceship icon right there.
Yeah.
And then that's my base icon. So I can see those on my compass if you look at the top of the screen.
I see. Yes.
So I was able to go back
find your
towards
way
those.
back with a compass. I got you. That makes sense. I mean, that's believable.
Oh yeah, and so I'm gonna go into space again and show you my freighter.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna show you third. I can change this perspective. Whoops, and this is a fairly new thing they added. You can be in third person.
Right.
In your ship.
Yes, you're watching from behind.
Yeah. Whoa. So now we're gonna. I don't play in this view very much, so I'm not used to it. But yeah, and so I just flew into space already.
Nate.
I'm gonna switch back because I really don't like that view very much.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, now I'm gonna fly out here and call my freighter. There it is.
Wow.
Yep. And it's really giant. And I've got all these littler, kind of mid-sized ships called frigates that you see flying in.
Yeah.
They all cost like 2 million each and stuff.
Wow.
And the freighter probably costs like 38 million.
Wow.
Thankfully, making money isn't too hard in this game. You can make a lot of money to buy stuff like this.
Good.
I've actually only got 5 ships. I could have 6, but there was really only 5 types that I wanted. So this is a fighter type ship.
Yeah.
It's good in combat. This is a hauler type ship. It's got more...
For freight.
Yeah, it's got more inventory size.
Yes.
So I could store a lot of items in here like these ones I've got. Over here... This is an exotic ship. This is a newer type that they added.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
dryer.
yeah, it's kind of like a what's it called? You've got a car that is luxury. It's like a luxury vehicle because it's really small. They have very little inventory size, but it's just kind of really cool looking.
Yes. Something to drive around and impress your friends.
Yeah, kind of like how a hot rod wouldn't be a very big car, but
you couldn't haul much in it.
But it's like real impressive looking, I guess. This is an explorer type. They're kind of faster and can warp farther.
Okay.
And they usually have smaller inventories too. It's kind of about the same as fighters. And this is a shuttle. Looks kind of like one of NASA's space shuttles.
Yeah, it does.
And they're the worst. They're like the
Antique.
they're like the fodder ships that aren't good at all. This is like one of the best that you can get, but it's very
Are they cheaper?
and they're very clunky and
Yeah.
not too great.
Yeah.
But I like my fighter ship.
Oh yeah, I do too.
So what do you think of No Man's Sky?
Pretty impressive. There's a lot to it, a lot of color, a lot of variety to me as a newbie and outsider. Looks like there's a lot to see and explore and to do, and ways to get around. And you're really wealthy. You got all this stuff you own.
Yeah. I think I'll go ahead and end the video there. Thanks for giving us outsider's perspective and reaction.
Thank you for giving me the insider's tour. I enjoyed it. It was a lot to see and do. I had a good time.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. So, I have been Mac, and this has been my dad. Thank you for joining us for a day. And remember, everything is going to be okay.